Scooby Dooby 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 Doo. Hey, everybody, welcome. Welcome again to another edition of the Rock and Roll Geezers show. Sure appreciate you stopping by for another winter episode. As you can see behind me, we got the snow going. We got everything. Got the presents bought. Got the mistletoe is hung. I don't know why, but, it is what it is. But, yeah, we got a lot of rock news this week, a lot of good things. And, of course, my co-host, the man who can't get no satisfaction because of all the crap music that's be putting out these days. That would be
Sadly
Doc
enough, it's
Vox, man.
true.
What's going on, Doc?
Greetings, kind sir. Greetings and salutations.
Yeah,
Yes, just another week of lots of little bit of everything going on this week. So,
very crowded. Yeah.
once again, thank you so much to our loyal viewers and or podcast listeners. We love you so much. And if you have not yet, please subscribe and see all the goodies that we bring you once a week. Just kind of keep you caught up on all the rock news that we find interesting and hope that you will too. So, yeah, a little bit of everything this week, man. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, right out of the gate, sad passing of Christine McVie, legendary keyboardist, singer for Fleetwood Mac. I loved her voice. I thought
Oh, absolutely.
I loved her voice more than Stevie Nicks.
Yeah,
Actually, I mean, she was just so liquid smooth. It was really
yeah.
something. But she
And she
passed
just had
away.
like a. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, she passed away after a short illness. It
Yeah.
surprised everybody. It shocked everybody, quite honestly, because usually, for the most part, you'll hear about if somebody's ill or whatnot, and you hear little bits and pieces. But this
Right.
was a quick bada bing right out of the gate, and
Yeah.
she passed. So, jeez.
Yeah. Christine McVie married bass player John McVie. Her name before then was Christine Perfect.
Perfect. Yes.
Yeah, she had a career on her own. She had a blossoming career on her own going at the time, and joined Fleetwood Mac. And boy, was that a good move. Yeah, I always loved her
Yeah.
voice. One of my favorites for sure. She's always, I don't know, kind of had like this underlying vulnerability, kind of, almost like a girl next door kind of quality to her. I don't know. There was just something
Yeah.
about her. I really liked
Just
her
really
voice.
smooth. Yeah. Inducted
Yeah,
into the
right.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1998 with Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
And just boy, most of their really great hits, it's her singing.
Yeah. Oh,
So
yeah. Yeah. A lot of them.
what a
Yeah.
shame. What a shame. Yeah, but it is what it is. You know how
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
goes. You know how that goes.
Losing a lot of legends these recent years. I'm sure we'll have more to come. So sadly,
Yeah, that's true. And we try and keep the drama going, of course, and never ends with Motley Crue. Although now, you know, it's not them so much that's creating the hassle; it's other people. They did announce a tour. They are getting ready to head
well,
out on.
they say announced a tour, but it's just one date right now.
I thought
It's
it well, two. Let me see.
or two
Uh,
dates, yeah, back to back in Atlantic City.
just see how everything works out. And it's going to be with Def Leppard too
Yeah, it's in a
in
small venue.
February.
It's like a 7,000 seater, and yeah, mid February they're going to do a couple in Atlantic City. So, kind of breaking in their new guitarist, John Five. As we know, Mick has stepped out, and we'll get into that a little bit. But it's still Vince. It's still Vince. We've heard reports
Yeah,
that he might be replaced, and even Scott Stapp was brought up, and Ricky Rackman weighed in on that if you remember. But yeah, that's still Vince. So far so good with that. But John Five will be joining them, and that'll be the first time with him.
they got a few gigs coming up, but also in the news, which I found interesting, was ex singer John Carabi,
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah, he doesn't believe a doggone word of their statement about Mick Mars. He's pretty much saying that he believes that they kicked his ass out, and everybody's just covering their ass real nice. Uh,
that seems highly plausible to me, man. You
Well,
know,
Karabi said, he said, I don't know. I could be totally wrong about this, so don't run around and effing whatever put it in print yet. But I'm just saying, I'm waiting for Mick's response. The one that we've
Right.
all heard, came from Motley and the management, and that's pretty much true. But yeah, jeez, oh, it's terrible. Apparently, they all really, he had a real problem on one of their albums, and they were all just trashing the hell out of Mick, which is amazing. Just
Yeah, he
wow.
said in the last few albums, it's been other guitarists on those albums. He was on the Generation Swine album, was the one he was on when Vince kind of had his little hissy fit or whatever and left for a little while. And then he said he was mostly the guitar on that. So he says.
Yeah.
And then the next couple albums, like was it Saints of Los Angeles, something like that? A couple other ones. It was DJ Ashba of he was with Guns N' Roses there, during that time when
Oh, wow.
after Buckethead, I think he was in there somewhere. But supposedly he was on those, and then the last album they did, it was John Five.
On the dirt, right?
Yeah, on the Dirt album, yeah. Um, so yeah, there's a lot behind the scenes maybe we don't know about. Maybe Mick's just been kind of touring with them, and it would seem the other way around, given his condition, that he would be more the studio guy and somebody else would hit the road, as we thought that they were doing now. But
Well,
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure on their tours, I saw this on the end. You can hear they've got a backup guitarist playing along with Mick. You're gonna hear
Right.
that. You don't see him, but you hear him. He's there. He's probably in the back, with
Oh yeah.
the earpiece on and whatnot. But yeah, they got a backup guitarist because I can hear the rhythm on certain songs while Mick's playing lead, and it's not a bass guitar doing all the rhythm. There's
Right.
another guitar in there, so he's had backup. So maybe just a little crutch to lay on. But god dang, what a killer sound! So if that's the case, that's too bad. He should. I guess it's time. If you're that ill with such a
That's what
bad
I'm
back,
thinking. Yeah, I know.
you got to be loaded with money. Just sit home and record and enjoy, and I don't know, feed the birds or whatever. But
Yeah, it would seem
wow,
like that Mick, that seemed totally logical that Mick was ready to step down from the road, and
uh,
Karabi's now saying that he might have been forced off, but I mean he seems like a stubborn old guy that's gonna grit his teeth and get through the pain and all that, but I don't know to that extent, but I don't know. Hopefully everything was on good terms, whatever it was, and you know,
yeah, I would think so. I would hope so anyway. Oh, speaking of Motley Crue, here's Tommy Lee. Can't get out of the news. And this time it really wasn't him. Apparently, in his LA home was reportedly trashed during a home invasion. It occurred last week, and it's being investigated and stuff. But apparently, the financial losses were light. They got a bathroom mirror and some cabinet handles, and it's like, wait a minute, was that all he had in there? But he just can't get a break, man. Jeez. So
makes me think maybe the guy was in there looking for another sex tape or something, like
big money
like
there.
if you saw the Pam and Tommy thing on Hulu where
Oh
Seth
boy.
Rogen character does that, but I don't know.
Oh boy, they can't stay out of the news though. But they're touring, so more power to them, I guess. Oh, here's an interesting one.
Oh, our boy.
This is Gigi Allen. There he is. Yeah, yeah. The Toilet Rockers, Murder Junkies. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They're gonna be putting out a biopic about him, which is gonna be crazy. I
Oh
can
yeah,
only
I'm
imagine.
I'm I'm in. I'm totally in.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh boy, he was so out of his mind. Uh, Geez, just wow, wow. Because
We've talked about him before. We had episodes, I don't know, that's been a while, maybe a couple months now, but yeah, we're big fans of Gigi. We've
yeah,
known about Gigi for quite a while.
yeah,
For,
yeah.
oh God, 30 years probably. But
And on
um,
YouTube, I was watching the videos early before they got most of them off. But there were concerts there where he's totally naked. He's got a little
uh,
little Elvis about the size of my finger. It was the funniest thing. Like
flopping around,
holy
yeah.
shit, dude! But yeah, run around naked, rolling in his own crap and throwing it at the people out there. Just a totally stunning, you know, exhibition, if you will.
Yeah.
That's not a rock show. That's a happening, man. He was so out of his mind. Well, that's probably after a concert right there or something. His picture. I mean, it looks like it would be after a concert. Yeah, because he did some
Did we have
crazy.
him as a main topic? I think we did, right? Yeah, we talked about him quite a
We
bit, right?
probably have. I imagine it.
Yeah,
You know,
and
I would
yeah,
not be
there's quite a
surprised.
bit to him, and everything you've heard about him, he's all that and more, and he had quite a disturbing upbringing and all that good stuff. So,
Oh,
yeah, to see a biopic would be pretty cool. It's brought to us by a guy named Jonas Ackerland, who was previously done a thing called Lords of Chaos, which was about
huh.
the death metal scene in Norway, and
Oh
if you
boy.
know about the band Mayhem and all their kind of they had some really wild stuff. So seems like something that's be right up his alley, I guess. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm in.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
totally in.
Totally in on that. Gigi, holy cow. Very cool. Yeah, okay, so we got a biopic coming out on him. And at the same time, we've got our buddy Alice Cooper. He's
Alice.
got an illustrated, a lavish illustrated biography of himself, examining his career of through the lens of 75 key events, releases,
Yeah.
and collaborations. So that sounds pretty crazy, man. Oh man, I man, because he was so out of his mind, so out of control for so long back in the day. When you never saw him without a Budweiser in his hand. I mean, he was a total
Right.
drunk, and then he got into some drugs, and he was so pale and thin. He looked like he was death warmed over.
And of
And
course
then
he's
he
a
makes this big comeback, and boy, he hasn't stopped since. So I can imagine that's going to be a pretty good read. I imagine,
yeah, I'm sure there's gotta be other biographies on him. Gotta be. But this one seems to kind of be in an interesting kind of way. They're focusing on 75 different events, key events, relationships, that kind of thing. They kind of break it down here. Different singles, I'm 18, School's Out, Welcome to My Nightmare, different collaborations with Slash, Dave Grohl, Johnny Depp, Wayne Kramer,
well,
association with Glenn
even his
Buxton, Nita Strauss, Orianthi.
even his early
So,
days with the earwigs and the spiders. So I mean,
yeah,
they're
yeah,
taking his whole
yeah,
freaking career. But wow,
yeah.
what a
Each of the
career it's been.
albums. So, yeah, that should be pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Always been another one of our mutually favorite guys. So yeah, love us some Alice.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Can't get enough of Alice. Jeez, very cool. Attaway Coop, freaking a. And then I've been seeing all over the interweb this week where Pantera's played their first
Yeah,
concert. Yeah, or
oh yeah,
do you call them Pantera? I guess they're calling them Pantera.
yeah. That's what's on
They
the
pretty much
bill.
got
Yeah,
the blessing of the estates of Dimebag and his
and Vinny.
brother Vinny, but they gave he said there could never be another Pantera, but we're honored to have these guys play. Basically giving their blessing to the whole project. So,
Yeah,
and it kicked ass. I'll say that. I watched a few minutes of it, and yeah,
yeah, yeah. So yeah, they there's lots of it on YouTube. There's some pretty decent kind of video on there, and some maybe not
yeah.
so much. But I found one that was pretty decent, and yeah, yeah. I would have
Four,
loved to have been there for sure.
14 song set, and they're just warming up, for their big one, man. Their big bam this when they hook up
Coming up with
with Metallica.
Metallica.
Yeah, man, oh man, that's gonna be great. And Bernardi said, yeah, he's it was like an out of body experience after a bit there. He just it just blew him away. He was, I can understand how he feels, quite honestly. You know,
Yeah.
like an out of body experience. Ah, man, just crazy cool. Yeah. Well, let me
Right.
see. Here it is, right here.
Well, yeah, it's about a band that that you've always enjoyed and admired, and now all of a sudden you're in that band, and even though he's been in an established band and all that before, but to be
Yeah. Well,
transported into another kind of
when he
pretty
said,
cool.
if I say I wasn't nervous, I'd be lying. The excitement, the fear, the emotions, the love, and the work that went into doing this all played a part of what was in my head. When I got up there, it had all seemed to disappear except for the cold weather. I looked at the other band members and I felt connection, and bam, I kept looking down at my set list and was getting hyped up for the next song.
Yeah, I
So
bet.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He had some moments up there where I felt like I wasn't there. I was in some other place. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
Uh,
Very cool, Charlie. I'm sure yeah, it's gonna it's gonna be big. It's gonna be. They're gonna have crowds, and they're gonna be crazy, and it's gonna be very honorable. And
it's super cool that they're with Metallica and everything, but I don't know. I was kind of hoping they'd be on a headlining tour. That's kind of how I thought it was going to be.
yeah,
But
yeah, but this is a
yeah,
this is a safe, a safe avenue, if you will.
I wonder if
So
we'll ever find out. When chronologically, when was the Metallica thing? When they were first starting to think even about doing this. Did they already think that Metallica was going to be in the picture, or did that come
boy,
much later? I'd be interested if we ever find out about that. But
Doc, I imagine it probably took them a while to hash it out, if you know what I mean. Oh, here we go. Moving down the road here to GNR, Guns N' Roses. Holy cow, man! They're going to be headlining the BST Hyde Park 2023 concert series, the 10th anniversary. So they're rolling, and they'll probably be late, of course. Axel will be fashionably late. So, but yeah, good for them, man. That
yeah, it's
yeah.
a big festival they've had over there in Britain.
BST, yeah, the British
Yeah,
Summertime is what they call it.
summertime. Yeah,
BST, Hyde Park,
so
yeah. And they're going to top the bill. And man, you're going to have Axel, Slash, Duff, Dizzy, Richard Fortus, Frank Farrer, and Melissa Reese. Oh, God damn her. Packing up the band, eh? But boy, oh boy, that's very cool. And
yeah, right now, well, that's in the summer, right? It's in June.
all right, 2023,
Yeah,
and
they're finishing up perhaps even tonight, whatever, in New Zealand for their tour. Basically,
okay,
is finishing up. So they could
okay.
have already have finished tonight. That makes sense because now they're like in New Zealand. It's like a day ahead of us, so they could have done
Hmm.
tonight's show already and be done. I don't know.
Right, right.
I get confused by that kind of thing, but
But the
um,
BST, they're going to have a Springsteen, and the E Street Band's going to be playing there at the festival. Billy Joel, Pink, Gwen Stefani, and then a few others. But that's some pretty hard hitting
wow, yeah, quite a
lineup.
lineup.
Billy Joel, yeah, yeah. Come to Tinley Park, Billy Joel. I go see that show, the Heartbeat.
He packs Wrigley Field, man. He won't be coming.
Yeah, he ain't got no time for us little 20,000
Yeah.
seaters. But yeah, Bruce will be there, so that'll be a pretty crazy good time for the boys. They're one of the survivors. For the most part. But speaking of Guns N' Roses, apparently I did not know this that Axel throws his mic out at the end of the show out into the crowd and then takes off
Right.
heads out. He's fashionably late, and then he
Instead of
does
a
his
mic drop, it's a mic toss. Yeah, I guess.
mic
Yeah.
toss.
Yeah.
Well, you want to expound on this one a little bit, or you want me to?
Yeah. Yeah. Like I was saying, they were kind of finishing up in New Zealand, I think, probably as I speak, perhaps. I'm not even sure. But so just earlier this week, finishing up in Australia, and they had a show Adelaide, I want to say, Australia, down in the southern part of Australia. And
Adelaide, yes.
yeah, they kind of do exactly what you're talking about. He gets done and woo, throws the mic into the crowd, and some young lady wasn't expecting that and zonked her right in between the eyes, man.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah.
she
Two
was,
black
yeah,
eyes
yeah.
too.
You can see it. Yeah, they see the video. She's got two black eyes, and right across her bridge is all bruised up, and
Yeah.
yeah, she definitely got clunked pretty good. So now this raises the question: should he be doing that? And I don't know, man. It's I mean, this
No,
I don't.
not in this day and age.
Not in
Well,
this day,
I'm
I
surprised we
suppose,
haven't
but
heard more people getting whacked in the
it's
head by his
exactly.
microphone.
Well, by a
Because,
microphone, or how many times you throwing drumsticks,
that,
or,
yeah,
or
yeah,
or
yeah.
smashing guitars and throwing those parts into the
A
crowd, or
microphone ain't light, man. And that's on 58. You throw it at somebody and hit them, it's going to hurt. Really, don't
you
do
know,
that, Axel. So he's
and
sworn off of doing it.
I can't blame her. She couldn't see it. I mean, it's you got
Well,
different
yeah, people
shades
going
and bright
nuts.
lights, and yeah. So
Yeah, so he took the social media, Axel, stressing, he didn't mean to cause any incident with the stunt, what he regularly does. Obviously, we don't want anyone getting hurt or to someone in any way hurt anyone at any of our shows anywhere. Having tossed the mic at the end of the show for over 30 years, we always felt it was a known part in the very end of our performance that fans wanted and were aware of to have an opportunity to catch the mic. Regardless, in the interest of public safety, from now on, we'll refrain from tossing the mic or anything to the fans during at our performances. Well, that's a good idea in this day and age, in this
I mean, it'd be a cool
litigious
souvenir for
time.
sure. Yeah,
In this
an
litigious
Axel's mic.
time,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, you got that right.
Let me see. Oh, here we go. Rose went on to hit out at some media outlets for the way Howe's alleged injury had been reported, saying, "Unfortunately, there are those that are for their own reasons, chose to frame their reporting regarding this subject in a more negative and irresponsible, out of the
You know
nowhere
what?
light, which could be farther from reality. We hope the public and, of course, our fans get that sometimes." You know what happens. Yeah, just stop throwing the mic, and then we're all good.
Well, you know what though, I understand this point because this was brought up probably up multiple articles, and at least a couple of them they kind of in the headline kind of make it sound like he threw it at her, like he threw the mic, like
Oh,
not to how he tossed it. So I totally get what he's saying there. He's got a point.
oh man, really, the media, what a bunch of snakes.
Yeah, headline grabbers, clickbait,
Jeez. But okay, so Axel's gonna knock that stuff off, which is good. Enough on that. People are too insane. Oh, the 1975.
This is the
funny.
weirdest story. This is a funny story, man.
Oh, jeez. The singer Matt Healy of 1975. We talked about them a couple of times, but there was a fan in distress, and he's hollering at security to help or something, and I had a hard time hearing what exactly, but he was hollering. It was in auto tune.
Yeah. Yeah, they have the video, and he's stop and help there. Whatever, I can't remember the exact quote. You probably got it there, but yeah, it's totally an auto tune. It's like it's embarrassing, man. It's, it cracks me up.
Well, auto tune is embarrassing. I think
exactly.
The first time we heard of it was when Cher did that single, "Do You Believe in Life After Love?" I believe she used it on that. I think that was one of the first times we heard it.
Yeah,
and
I think so,
what a disappointment that technology is.
Actually, I think Kid Rock. If you go back to Kid Rock on Only God Knows Why, he's got some auto tune going there. I think.
No, really?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But yeah,
really?
It was the first time that was really prominent, though. Yeah, you're right with Cher. That was time.
Yeah, and then they fine tuned it, and I just don't use it. It's just horrible.
Well, for exactly, and to use it live is even worse.
Oh, jeez.
That's what I'm saying. And surprise me. I don't know much about this band. I've heard a couple of their songs. They seem to me more kind of one of those bands that kind of have cellos and stuff in there. But
cool.
I don't know. But to have auto tune with that, it just totally doesn't jive. But hey,
so an 8-string cello. I'm just kidding. But yeah, just to hear some guy hollering out for help with auto tune still on. Oh, geez, that figures. Technology's gone to hell. I've said that for a ton of years. That technology's just.
Geezers have been saying that since the beginning of time, my friend.
Oh my goodness, you got that right. Yeah. Boy, here we go. B-52s. They're the good old classic B-52s, crazy, funky, weird band. I never got Rock Lobster. I never figured
There's
that
nothing to
song.
get, man. It's just to enjoy and just be silly,
Yeah,
you know.
just
Just
a silly little song. Love Shack was a killer. I mean, that was a rock. That's one of them. As soon as you hear it, you got to start nodding your
yeah.
head. I mean, that's just one
When
of them songs you just can't
back
help
in
it.
my DJ days, yeah, that was played at
Oh boy,
every wedding, every company Christmas party,
absolutely
whatnot. Yeah, all that good stuff.
great, great song.
So,
But they've announced a 10 date residency in Las Vegas next year to
yeah,
end the band basically. It sounds like so. Oh my God, they're going to be playing on my birthday too. They're playing May 5th, May 6th, 10th. Yeah, so
yeah, they
13th August. Yeah, wow.
yeah, I think they got 5 dates in May, and then they take a couple months off, and then three more in August, late August, and a couple in early September, and that's it. I guess the pre-pandemic, like 2019, they did their UK farewell tour. So this may be something they've had planned for a while. I'm not sure, but
I'm sure. Well, I'm willing to bet. Yeah, because
yeah,
they're celebrating their 40th anniversary. Yeah.
yeah. So
Probably,
got Fred and Cindy and Kate. I'm sure they'll be giving it their best shot, and
oh
putting
yeah,
on a
they'll be
fine
packing the
show.
houses. They'll be packing the
I
house.
was recently watching it was on the US Festival. You remember the US Festival in
Sure.
California in the early 80s, and
Wasn't
they
that
had different days.
Steve Bosniak,
Yeah, the Wozniak, yeah,
Wozniak?
yeah,
Right, right.
yeah, and so they had different days. They had like the New Wave Day and the Metal Day and all. So on the New Wave Day, B-52s was among the band, and by all accounts, they stole the show, man. They were kind of like Queen was at Live Aid, They were kind of
Oh man, well,
so.
good for them, man.
So yeah, I bet they put on a great show, man.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Doubt I'll
Speak.
make it to Vegas to see them, but hey, good for them.
Nope, 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 nope. Yeah, and the Eurythmics, huh? For crying out loud, the Eurythmics.
Yeah.
There they are, right there. Oh yeah. Oh, sweetheart. They've been offered a huge amount of money
Oh
to
yeah.
tour. Wow. Uh, yeah, just righteous amount of bucks, over $100 million, I believe.
120 million
Oh my gosh! So they're set to
for
reunite
40
for
dates.
a
For
world
40
tour
40
next
dates.
year. Yeah, for 40. Oh wow!
Yeah, 40 day world tour. And it's all kind of on the heels of their Hall of Fame performance.
Yeah,
They kind of
yeah.
got up there and did their thing, and promoters, saw it, and they got the wheels turning and offering this much money and got the tour going. So, seems like they might be. They're saying a new album's not even off the table. So,
Wow!
who knows? This might be a reunion that goes on for a while.
I believe Stewart he had cancer for a while there, and she helped him get back on his feet and whatnot. So they're really close, and I wouldn't be surprised to see another album. I mean, man, I got something. I got a scratchy throat and a runny nose, Doc. So there's something going around here. I'm all around. Around my granddaughters a lot though, so they're probably bringing stuff home from school. So
Oh yeah, little kids are little petri dishes of germs. And
oh yeah, and I'm here to take it all in. Yeah, yeah.
there
Tell the
you go.
Rhythmics, good job for them. And
Yeah,
Brett
Dave
Mike,
Stewart. Everybody, Annie Lennox. Everybody, she's got the great voice. But Dave Stewart's he's a little bit of a genius on his
he's
own
the
right, man.
mastermind. Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. He's produced a lot of stuff, and I have a doc. I should pull it out an old blues documentary, and he's part of it where he goes deep into the Mississippi Delta and looking for the old hill blues. I mean, he's really
Yeah.
a historian and student of the music. So
Not surprised. He
yeah,
just
good
seems
for
a
them,
very
man.
serious gentleman. So good for them. Hope they make a ton of money. And and Brett Michaels, he's going to be doing a 2023 tour, the Party Gras. Party Gras tour
Yeah, Party
with
Gras.
Night Ranger and Jefferson Airplane. How about that? There's right there.
Jefferson Starship.
Starship on Jefferson Airplane. Wow.
Well, and
I
I found that
refuse the
interesting too
Starship.
because,
I'm an airplane fan. Yeah,
well, remember they went with Jefferson Airplane, Jefferson Starship, and then just Starship. They
right.
ended up. So I found it interesting that they're being billed as Jefferson Starship again.
No,
So
I'm a geezer, so I'm a
I,
total Jefferson
that
Airplane
lineup has
fan.
been long gone. I don't know any surviving members of that lineup, so I'm not sure why they would go with that
We'll
part
leave it
of
at
it. But
yeah, we'll talk about that in a coming
that's a whole
show,
nother talk
Doc.
show. Yeah.
Yeah, we got that one covered. But Night Ranger, yeah, Jefferson Starship, Mark McGrath, and some guy who apparently used to sing for Journey, Steve.
Steve O'Jerry, yeah,
Oh,
he was.
Jerry.
Yeah, he was the first guy they got that sounded just like Steve Perry, and his name even sounds close, Steve O'Jerry. So yeah, I remember that guy. He sure
Oh,
lived.
yeah, you got that right. Yeah, yeah.
Well, he's part of the Brett Michaels performance, from what I understand. It's going to be Starship, Jefferson Starship. They'll come out and do their set, and then Night Ranger, and then Brett Michaels will come out, and yeah, it'll be Mark McGrath and Steve O'Jerry will be part of that. But he says there'll also be other special mystery guests, and
Ah,
people have been speculating on who that could be, and some of the people are talking about is Jimmy Page, which I
ooh,
highly doubt. I cannot see Jimmy Page.
why would he
You
want
know,
to do that?
from what we've been hearing, he hasn't even picked up a guitar. Yeah, but he's gonna get up for Brett Michaels. I don't think so.
Michaels. I love your
Jimmy,
TV show, man. What was the
yeah, right.
TV show he was on?
Rock of Love.
Well, I love your
Yeah,
rock and love.
Rock of
Yes, I,
Love. Yeah,
you were so good an actor. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Jimmy Buffett, he's on my list of guys I want to punch in the face. I'm not, yeah, I can't stand Jimmy Buffett and Paul Stanley. So yeah, Paul Stanley might be a little more plausible, perhaps, but
Okay, yeah,
yeah, we'll see.
Brett.
It's 12 dates next summer. It's reminding me. Remember a while back when they finished the stadium tour that they were part of with Motley and Def Leppard,
Right.
and they kind of talked about them being on with the next leg. And Brett said, "No, we're not going to do anything with Poison at least for a couple of years." So I'm sure he had this kind of thing brewing already, where he knew, he wasn't going to be available for a while. So,
Ah,
you
okay,
know,
Brett. Well, do what you do, because that's all you can do. Oh, I love this story. Good old Neil Young. He, Southern man, whatever. No, but he's talking about touring, and he's questioning on whether he even wants to go on tour again. But he's gonna try only if he can make it environmentally sustainable, and that fans get food from real farmers instead of as opposed to the fake farmers.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know. I don't know how he's going to pull this off. He has said he may only tour again if he can make it using renewable, clean energy and ensuring that fans are only served food at any factory farm. That's a tall order.
That is
You know,
a Herculean order, man. That's no, I don't see it, man. I don't see it possible.
well,
We're getting a lot of these, in these political times, a lot of this kind of stuff, and seems to be kind of shooting for the moon a little bit. A little idealistic. Perhaps in 100 or 200 years from now, maybe we'll be there, but to try to pull something off like that in this day and age is just
yeah.
totally unrealistic.
Well, if I may
I don't know.
just dabble real for a few seconds into politics, electric cars ain't the answer. It's going to be something like hydrogen or something. Electric cars ain't the answer. It's going to be hydrogen or something. It ain't going to be electric
Well,
batteries.
there's still power needs to be generated
But yeah, but nonetheless, if people ever watch the movie Roadie starring Meatloaf, Meatloaf was able to set up some kind of ramshackle doohickey to run a concert. But yeah, if you ain't got Meatloaf to run your concert, these guys are screwed. It takes so much to put on a concert, especially so much energy. You know, what are you gonna do? You're gonna tote around a field of panels to generate your electricity. You know,
I picture like all the roadies backstage on them bicycle generators. Everybody just pedaling. Trying to keep the whole thing going. I
Neil,
don't
this
know,
is
man.
hard. Neil, we can't
Neil,
do it. Yeah,
don't do
he
an
will.
encore tonight, man. Jimmy's got a cramp. Don't do an encore.
Oh boy, but
Oh my
he
gosh.
says, and he goes on. I have a plan. Neil says, I've been working on it for with a couple of my friends for about 7 or 8 months. We're trying to figure out how to do a self-sustaining, renewable tour. Everything that moves our vehicles around, the stage, the lights, the sound, everything that's powers it is clean. Nothing dirty with us. We set it up. We do this everywhere we go. I can't see it happening, man. That
I'm not totally up on all that, and I don't claim to be, but yeah, this seems to be pretty far out there, man.
yeah, and yeah, we'll delve into that even a little further down the road here.
And you know what, too? This is kind of on the heels of remember he just had the Spotify boycott. Remember
Yeah.
he took all his stuff off of Spotify because of Joe
Oh,
Rogan, right?
yeah,
He was
yeah.
protesting Joe Rogan, yeah.
All these people,
So
jeez.
to me, when your rock stars get into politics like that, it can't be good. It's just
No.
divisive. You lose fans. You know,
Well,
I,
yeah, you could lose half your fans.
you know, to me,
I,
I'm not a huge Neil Young fan. I've got quite a few of his CDs, but I can't imagine putting on because it's like I feel like I've heard enough from him. You know what I mean?
mhm,
If
yeah,
I hear him preaching to me politically, it's like kind of I don't need to hear any more from Neil right now.
I'm
It's
too
just
hard. I'm working
it
too
kind of
hard,
puts you
Neil.
off.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
working too damn hard. I come home wore out after it. I don't need to be preached to. When I'm
yeah.
busting my ass to provide for my family.
It goes
Thanks, but
back
I
to
don't need it.
kind of had my little rant on Bruce Springsteen a while back, who I'm a huge fan of. My main guy, he's on a whole nother level for me. But these recent things with the ticket prices, I don't feel like listening to Bruce right now, man. I just but
I hear you.
that's a whole nother thing. But just to my point, politics can't be good out of your rock stars, man.
Politics sucks. I hate it so much. Ugh. Okay. Anyway, Neil finishes up with, "This is something that's very important to me. If I'm ever going to go out again, and I'm not sure I want to, I'm still feeling that out. But if I'm ever going to do it, I want to make sure that everything is clean." I don't know. I don't know, Neil. I don't know how you're
Yeah.
going to do it. More power to you, but tours are struggling with the cost of everything up. Everything
Yep.
is
Yep.
way
Yep.
up. So
Yep.
tours are struggling to put that extra burden upon the situation. Just I just can't see it being good. Oh, let's fly through this one real quick. This is what a shame, And you were just talking politics, and
Yep.
and here's Mumford and Sons. Uh, their banjoist Winston Marshall. They're a big reader of books, and he'll post after he reads a book, he'll post about the book itself and all this. And he's a well-read individual, but boy, oh boy, they came after him because he read the wrong book. Andy Knows book he read, and Andy is a free-thinking Asian American journalist who is was head deep into the Seattle situation, the Portland situation, all that up there. And he
Yeah.
posted that he read his book, and boom, people went nuts on him. It's just amazing. Go
Cancel
back.
culture took over. The mob took over.
It is, and the Twitter mob they call it now. But a well-read gentleman, shut up, shut the hell up. If he's a well-read gentleman, leave him the hell alone. If you don't like it, maybe you should read a few books yourself. Because what the name of the book was, Andy Knows book was titled "Unmasked: Inside Antifa's Radical Plan to Destroy Democracy." Not to get in, I hate politics so bad. You've seen Antifa, you've seen the black guys with the black masks on and shit, rioting and raising hell and shit. So it's nothing that should be masked. And he spoke up about it. He brought it up, and he ended up having to quit the band because he was taking so much crap about it. But now he's speaking up and saying, that was a mistake. I should have just stuck, you know, held my ground for crying out
Yeah,
loud.
apologizing was a mistake. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. He said he's just now that he's quit the band and he just feels like he's got a huge load off his shoulders and feels free to speak his mind and says there's way too much self censorship in music these days. And I gotta agree with him there. You know,
oh yeah, yeah.
I think people are in all walks of life. There's a lot of self censorship right now, and for artists to have the kind of their voice is stifled in any kind of way, it's not good. But
Especially an artist.
yeah, yeah,
Talk
that's what's
about
going
free
on.
speech. I mean,
Yeah.
that's gee, many creepers. It's just yeah. So what a shame that is. What
As he says,
what
he's effectively quit the band like a year ago. I guess now he's kind of getting into the specifics of it. But
what a shame though.
yeah, Mumford and Sons. I think he just found out Mumford wasn't his real dad. I think he just.
But boy, oh boy, when they let pop, well, the digital age, I believe that I said many years ago that was going to destroy humanity, and it's slowly doing it. So what a shame. Here's an interesting thing. We were talking about Metallica. You talked about it extensively last week.
Yeah,
Metallica's tour,
yeah.
and wow, they've got all sorts of ticket packages. I must say, it's pretty wild. All sorts of ticketed packages. They've got the Seek and Destroy Reserve package. They got the One Enhanced experience. They got the Moth into Flame Snake Pit experience. They've
Right.
got the Nothing Else Matters Snake Pit experience. They got the Lux Eterna Private
Lux
Platform
Eternally. That's the
experience.
that's the new single. Yeah.
So this is crazy. What do you think about that? Oh, they go from like $414 to 7,300. Oof.
Actually, it's 7272. It's
Okay.
because
Oh,
it's the M72 tour, so they make it.
oh, getting snazzy
Yeah,
on us. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
sliding that one in there on us. Um, but yeah, it's
Jeez.
kind of meet and greets and all that kind of stuff, different levels to it, and up to us. So yeah, the basic general admission for the 2 days, it's a 2 day concert, is $414. So obviously pretty
It
steep, but
it allows early access in the to the general admission section of the venue for both nights, which means you probably get up front then, eh? Is that what I'm guessing? You can get up front.
well, it's general admission, so
But if you
potentially,
get
but yeah.
early access, yeah, yeah.
Well, they have the moth into the flame part is I think is for the pit, and that's $1,000 ticket. So yeah,
And then the next up is the
actual
Seek
into
and
the pit. Yeah.
Destroy. The Seek and Destroy is 518, and it comes with a reserved seat in the lower bowl section of the venue for both nights and a piece of merchandise. So, for a hardcore fan, that'd be a pretty good deal, I imagine. They're not going to bitch too much about that.
And then the next one is the the
Uh-huh.
enhanced experience. A package's base price of $830.
Ooh.
Includes premium reserved seat for both shows, a pre-show party, whatever
Oh,
that consists
yeah.
of, both nights in the Black Box Lounge, and MP3 downloads of both concerts,
Oh, well,
and more. They always tag on and
and
more.
more. Yeah, brown M&Ms.
Yeah. And then the Moth into the
Oh.
Flame, the Snake Pit experience, and that's over $1,000. Standing location in the middle of the stage, as well as a aforementioned pre-show party, merchandise items and drink.
Oh.
So yeah, all the way up to the Lux Eterna,
Yeah, let's
and
go
out of
that
that
through the
you
big
get
one.
fantasy private viewing platform for up to 8 people. Cooler loaded with soft drinks and beer. Access to the pre-show party at the Black Box Lounge. Merch item for everyone in the group, and the ability to pre-order merch that will be delivered directly to your platform. But I don't see the meet and greet as part of that.
Yeah, if they ain't coming in the bathroom and wiping my ass for me, that ain't worth it. What the hell? No meet and
Well,
greet?
$7,000. That sounds like that's for an eight. That's a group of 8. So that's
Okay, so it's under $1,000 each, but still. good. I better meet the band, and throw a few drinks
Okay,
back,
that
maybe.
the next one down, actually, the Nothing Else Matters
Oh,
is starts at 3,222 and is meet and greet photo with two members of Metallica. It's not
ooh.
going to be James and Lars. It's not. It's going to be Kirk and Robert.
Uh,
Fans will also receive collectibles, including the set list autographed by the band. That's my package. I mean, if I had the money, I suppose. But
Jeez,
yeah, either
that
way, it's going to
righteous
be a
bucks,
load
man.
of money for a big long weekend. And I remember I saw Pearl Jam, and they did a thing like that. It was a two concert, it was a two night concert, which we were unaware of. We just bought a ticket for one night, and they did like half their songs, and then it's like, hey, where's Even
Oh,
Flow? Where's it? Well, they did those the next night, and
oh.
but, anyway, it was a
Doug.
good time anyway. But
Yeah, so that's righteous bucks, though. For wow. Now, and is that for both nights? That's my question.
right, yeah, the
I
tickets
would
for
think
both
that's for
nights.
both
Yeah,
nights.
yeah, yeah.
Well,
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. You can only get a ticket for both
if
nights
you're
in
a
the situation.
hardcore
So
fan who's a millionaire or something, okay, no problem. But yeah, the righteous bucks, man. I can't afford that.
and they're not
Yeah.
even promoting this as any kind of farewell thing or anything. So you know,
Oh, yeah,
it's
yeah.
not
It
like
just
it's not like last chance to see them or anything. So
yeah, yeah. Oh, let me switch to a nice background here. Let me see. There we go. I feel better already, man, looking at that one. So, little news before we get to our main topic here. We were talking about how Dolly Parton, she needs to she needs to get a rock album together. She's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame now. She's legend. She's hinted that she wants to do some rock and roll stuff, and sure enough, according to Loudwire, she's getting ready to put together a rock album, and well, I don't think anybody, whoever she asks to play, I would imagine they're gonna play. Period. Because it's Dolly Parton. You don't say no to Dolly Parton.
yeah, we had mentioned that when she first started out going, and we had Steve Perry was one of the first on board. I know, but
Right, right. Yeah.
haven't heard beyond that.
She's trying to get Plant and Page back together to do a song with her. I
Really?
don't know if anybody, I would say you better do it. It's Dolly Parton, period. You get your
I don't
ass
know if
out
the
here.
Brits. I don't know if the Brits revere her as much as we do here in
Oh boy,
America.
you should see. No,
You know.
there's a concert out there. I can't. Oh gosh, Almighty. She did Jolene at a concert over in Europe,
Okay.
and the girl singing in the crowd was almost louder than Dolly. That's how
Yeah.
much they love her. Oh yeah,
Okay. Well.
she's the queen, man. She's the queen of the world. She's the queen of the world, man. Yeah. So anyway, apparently, we talked about this, Doc. Okay, Dolly, if you're going to put out an album, really give it thought and really kick our ass. And I was worried because I saw a list of songs here. Prince's Purple Rain, Rolling Stones Can't Get No Satisfaction, Led Zeppelin Stairway to Heaven, Leonard Skinner Free Bird. It's like, no, gee, Dolly, no.
Yeah.
But it also says there's going to be some originals. So I do have some hope there
Yeah.
on the originals. Rock our ass off, Dolly, because I don't want to hear those other songs. I don't want to hear
Yeah. I
that.
really don't. Those. It's
I'd
just
rather you hit some deep cuts,
yeah. Yeah. For
and
sure.
because those
I'm
are too
sure she's
easy.
got rock songs. I know she did a cover of the Collective Soul song "Shine." Remember that song? She did a
Sure,
cover of
sure.
that back in the '90s. So I mean, she's aware of rock. I mean, she I think there's other
Oh,
deep.
I'm
You
sure
said
she is.
deeper
Yeah,
cuts. I mean, it seemed like she just went to the one of the top rock songs of all time. Googled them and "Stairway to Heaven" and "Freebird" and all those came up.
no,
And
that's
okay,
too easy,
uh,
Dolly. It's too
yeah,
easy for you. But
yeah.
hopefully, she does those four, and then she does like 8 originals. Bring it on. Stretch
Yeah.
out. Don't do it.
I mean,
Don't do it
she's
easy.
just one of the greatest songwriters too. I mean, I would love to hear
Exactly.
her put those talents to a rock song.
Yeah.
Would be great. So
By Jack of Many Colors. That was a great song. I'm sorry. I wear my jock of many colors that my mama sewed for me.
I think that was a Frank Zappa song there.
Yeah. Oh boy. Oh well. Go for it, Dolly. Doggone it. And she's yeah, she's the best. Amy Lee. We saw Amy Lee earlier this year in concert opening up for. Oh, I did. Oh, you weren't
Yeah.
there. That's the one concert
Uh,
you couldn't
but
make.
I've seen her before though. I've
Right,
seen
you
her.
did.
Yeah, I've seen
Yeah,
her twice before.
she canceled a concert in Poland, and we'll see if this continues because her voice is apparently screwed up her
Oh,
team.
jeez.
Her team. Well, Amy Lee released a statement. We are absolutely gutted to tell you that we will not be able to play for you tonight. There has been a relentless sickness going around our camp, and it has, despite every effort, taken a hold of my voice. My doctor says
What
I
is
can't
it?
perform like this without damaging it, and I'm doing everything I can to heal so we can finish this tour. Wow. Ugh.
What is it with people losing their voice in Europe? We reported that a few times. Remember Eddie Vedder, remember? Iggy Pop was over there and had to cancel some shows because of it. So I don't know. Something in the
Yeah,
water,
yeah.
something in the air. I don't know.
Yeah, so hopefully it's just one concert, but man, oh man, I mean, everything's been so rough lately for these poor bands. I mean, it's just really something. They're doing their damnedest to keep the ball rolling, but man, oh man, it ain't easy.
Yeah, you got that
And
right.
yeah, yeah, and oh boy, here's an article by the Disturbed guitarist, and he makes a pretty good point, I must say.
From
He
the
said
band Disturbed.
from
He's
the
not
band
personally disturbed.
Disturbed.
Yeah,
Well, he may be disturbed.
he
We
may
don't
be
know.
disturbed, but yeah, he's from
Dan
the band. Yeah.
Donegan. Dan Donegan. He's gonna rock again. Yeah. But he's talking about, making records and whatnot. He brought up a point. He says, at this point, why even put out a full record? It doesn't. Boy, it really doesn't make any sense in this day and age. And I tell you, I have to agree with it. Let me see. He says, in terms of making full albums, he said it's hard to give an answer to that. Back in the day, in our day, you went from albums to cassette tapes, and cassette tapes to CDs, and CDs to MP3s. And the problem is, once it's MP3, the money's gone. Gee, for decades, forever. A band would come up with some good hits. Artist agent would catch up on them, and check them out and sign them up. They'd go in to a studio, record the record, put the records out, and see what would happen, and they'd make money. Or if the record didn't happen, they wouldn't. But that template is totally gone. And it all started. Well, maybe you can help me out. Napster started it, right, Doc?
Yeah, oh yeah. Napster was the first digital sharing, peer to peer. They call it digital sharing, file sharing. Yeah, platform. And I was all about it, man. When Napster came out, man, I was a huge fan. But yeah, looking back, you can definitely see where, kind of we've talked about the state of rock music in the past. We've done a topic on that, and this kind of just lends right into that as well. Just kind of diluted the product, I guess. To where you say where albums, there's still a market for albums. There is. I think vinyl's making a comeback. I think it's not as big as it once was, not by any means, but there's still a small market. But yeah, people are just consuming music differently now, and the quick download or the quick, listen on YouTube or Spotify or whatever.
Right.
And yeah, and people just start buying music, man.
Well, yeah, yeah, because in the in the old days, everybody had their records, and if you didn't have the record you wanted, to record, you could always borrow a friend's, bring it home, and record it onto a cassette tape, and then you could play it in your
Yeah.
car and everything. So even though you didn't buy the record, somebody did at some point, you know.
Well, and
So
that was just your immediate friends or whatever. That was kind of as
right,
vast as your little network went, you know.
right.
And now with the internet, that's just, you know, it's worldwide. And you know, getting back to Napster, you know, gosh, I can remember getting on Napster with a 14K modem, you know, where you had
Woo,
to,
doggy.
you have the dial up and all the funky noises, and then and finally break into it, and it take you 45 minutes to download a song. And you know, if you got 35 minutes into it and the person got online or got offline, you were screwed. You know, you had to start all over.
I don't remember that.
But that improved. You know, different platforms came out. Napster,
Well,
they kind of
Napster,
got
Napster caught
they kind of got
they
they
caught
were
Metallica's
singled out
eye.
kind of. Yeah.
Metallica actually discovered a demo of their song "I Disappear." It had been circulating across the network before they even released it, and so it got played on some record stations or some radio stations and stuff. And wow, that sort of woke their ass up. And I remember when they were raising hell about this situation.
Oh yeah.
The drummer especially, but yeah, and you know, I could see it coming. I could see it coming. This is not good
Yep.
because there's very little way to make, you know, for a band to make money because very few artists are gonna sell records at this point. Everything could be downloaded. Let me just put it this way: a band could come out with a new album, a new, you know, full length album today. Tomorrow it'll be on YouTube, and I can just Bluetooth it to my car radio and play it
Yeah.
to my heart's content without
Yeah.
paying one penny. So that the system is really gone to hell, and so bands are trying to figure a way to make more money, obviously, because there's just you know, unless you're a Taylor Swift or something who's going to sell millions of maybe
Yeah.
CDs, I guess, maybe CDs, and
Well, even downloads, you know, there's money to be made in downloads, but yeah,
not much though. When you can
not
just go
much.
to
No,
YouTube and
yeah.
find it, and boom,
You'll see
blue.
a lot right now on a lot of Facebook, different artists' Facebook. They're posting their numbers on Spotify. I've been seeing it there in
Yes,
the last
yes,
couple of
number
days.
of hours
Yeah,
and all that. Yeah,
yeah. How many listeners they had, how many countries they reached, stuff like that.
right.
And you almost want to say, you know, yes, you know, like a guy like Bruce Springsteen or something, like 183 million listens or whatever it was, you know, and you can almost say, yeah, and total revenue, you know, $4.17, you know, or something, because it's, you know, so yeah, it's
Exactly.
peanuts, you know, for the streaming services, you get nothing.
Well, it
So
really is. I mean, yeah, yeah, and you know, the point is to make money gigging, and you know, and with merchandise and whatnot. But here's an example. American Aquarium frontman. I've never heard of the band, BJ
nor have I, no.
Barham, but he's you know, at least somebody's got to call out the venues. The venues are on some of these people. They're taking 20% up to 30% of the merchandise.
Of the merch. Yeah, that's bullshit.
So these poor freaking bands, a lot of them ain't making squat. A lot of them, remember, you said a lot of these bands actually pay to go on tour.
Yeah. Yeah.
So okay, so they're actually paying to go on a tour, and then they come to a venue and they got try and make some money on their merch, and the venue is pulling between 10 and 30% of that.
Yeah.
Cripes.
Yeah. And how that started, because some venues they're selling it for you too. You know, they have their booths set up and they
Jeez. I'm
would
sorry,
take
man.
the cut on that basis. They
That
I think I got cut a little bit.
They got cut a little, no big whoop, but
yeah, how that came to be about getting that cut was venues, they would have like their employees working the booths. It would be their booth. They got their employees selling your T-shirts, so they would take a cut, and that's seems somewhat reasonable. But then it just became places that didn't do that even were just taking the cut regardless, and
Well,
you have your own
uh,
person there
well,
selling it.
that's what American
So yeah,
Aquarium, they sent out an apology saying we're sorry that the venue's taking 20% of the cut, so we have to raise our merch prices by 20% just to try
yeah.
and make a few bucks. So it's just what a screwed up mess.
And exactly, who gets screwed in the end is the consumer. Now it gets passed on to us.
Well, and the
So,
bands, the little
yeah,
bands who ain't making
yeah,
anything, they're poor
exactly.
people. It's such an uneven playing field now. They're not going to make any money on records, obviously.
No,
Uh, Probably not CDs. Probably downloads ain't going to make squat because people can cheat like me. Like I
yeah,
said, I got a $70 smartphone, but I can still go on YouTube, blue, hook up with my car stereo and play any doggone thing I want to. It's
yeah.
all out there and it's all free. So I really feel for the bands. And another person who brought up this situation was Devin Townsend, producer, massive player. But he brought up the fact that it's the ability to make money on tour is almost completely gone now. Was his really amazing quote? Wow. And here's one of his quotes. He saw this thing about a Live Nation the other day. They're taking 30% of merch sales from some of these venues. He continues, the cost of airlines has gone up. So artists, the ability to make money on tour is almost completely gone now, at least an artist on my level. And he's at a pretty big level. He's pretty, a lot of people may not know Devin Townsend, but he's at a pretty big level. He's pretty up there. He packs the house when he plays. So yes, it's opened up again, but it's 10 times more expensive. It's like, what do you do? Even little things like, okay, the hotels are more expensive. The food at the hotels is more
Yeah.
expensive. So at the end, you're touring for what? You're touring ultimately so you can present your work to the people who care about your work, and that's worth it to me. But I think for anybody to think that it's now easy again, you should investigate that because I'm trying to set up tours for next year, and there's no way to keep them within cost. There's no way. And so you go out
Wow.
there and well, we can't have this vehicle, we can't have this backline, we can't have this production, we can't have these lights. And then if you show up at a place and the audience comes, they're like, the show's not good, there's no lights, there's no production. So what should you do? And I think a lot of musicians, their decision is like, well, I'll just stay home then and I'll create from home. See, it's gonna,
And there's no money there either, though. That's
yeah.
the thing.
And what he's doing, he's considering trying to go out with an acoustic thing now because that way he can afford it. But
There
boy,
you go. Yeah,
but it's still,
like everything low
he
key.
had a
Yeah.
big production. He puts on a big production. So I see his point. Everything costs insanely
Well, just because
more.
just music's just not, I don't know, for lack of a better word, I guess the commodity that it used to be. I mean, it's just, to your point that you've been making, it's free. It dilutes. Like I said, when you used to go buy an album, you would save up or you would, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to the record store this Saturday and I got a $20 bill and
That was a
I'm gonna get
great
two
time,
albums.
man. Yeah.
Yeah, and you'd go and you would debate, oh god, I only got $20, should I get this one or should I get that one? And or maybe you already had your favorite artist had one coming out or whatever. You'd go and buy your album and get it at home and you would fall in love with that album, man. I mean, sometimes, there's albums, I would be that album, man. I mean, for
Yeah.
6 months or whatever.
And the albums
I
had
mean,
great artwork for the most part.
yeah,
Most of them had liner notes and, they had lyrics on them and stuff. I mean, it was a
and you
really
would tell your
great
friends, dude,
experience.
I got this great new album. You got to check it out. And, it was a
Yeah.
community and there was, there was things to talk about. And now it's just, yeah, everything's so available. It's just,
Yeah, I feel
it's
sorry
audio
for the artist.
wallpaper. It's just in the background and people don't even notice it. I mean, and
I feel sorry for the artist, but except for the biggest guys, because they're still making money hand over fist. And but the
yeah,
smaller
the
artists,
established artists, and I don't know how the rap guys are doing it, but the rap guys seem to be making money, but I don't know how that
well,
works.
they bring a crowd and there's no overhead.
Yeah.
Here, just press play on the tape here and
Yeah, I
we'll sing
suppose.
along
Yeah,
with it, and there's no
yeah,
overhead. But well, there's some overhead, but
yeah,
not as
yeah,
much as
yeah,
a Rod
yeah,
Stewart type of tour.
yeah. You got
But
that right.
man, more power to them. They keep on trudging away, but boy, the musicians are in a bad. They're just in a tough situation right now. It just really sucks.
It's good, and I guess some saving graces. There is a vinyl's making a huge comeback. For the collectors and real listeners. Like I said, I think the digital part of it is just so free and everything that now that going back to the analog and having a physical thing, I think it's becoming popular again.
I
And
like it, man. I got a
you
new
know, you
keyboard
know.
or new turntable. So
The thing
yeah,
is,
yeah.
yeah, they're not cheap. I mean, a new album's like $40 now. It's like
Wow.
it's not
Yep.
cheap. So.
Yep.
Unless you're a
Well, it
collector
is.
like me and that's what you do. But
Yeah, yeah, it is. Well, more power to them. I hope they can keep the ball rolling, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what it morphs into next, because it's crazy. But as always, thanks a lot for stopping by, folks. Next week's episode is going to be our Christmas episode. Looking forward to Jolly Saint Nick. I'm getting there. I'm close. I'm working on my Saint Nick look here, but I still got a ways to go. But nonetheless, yeah, we'll have our Christmas episode. Maybe talk about some Christmas songs and whatnot, and the usual news. Of course, I can't wait to see what comes up this week, because it's always great. The never-ending supply of insane musicians. So we're really blessed with that. So, what do you say you take it home, Doc?
yeah, absolutely. Thanks for tuning in again. Everybody's watching and or listening podcast wise. So appreciative to have you along for the ride. And if you haven't, please tell a friend. Try to get some subscriptions going. And yeah, I'm looking forward to next week. Like I said, it's astonishing. I mean, as we go through every week, picking out which stories we want to do, there's never a lack, man. That's for sure. And yeah, wait to see what comes up next week. So till then, have a great rock and roll filled week, and we'll see you then.